Hello freelancers, Ebontis here. Let's talk about the Ranger. So this will probably be the first video I put up, but may not be. Who knows what order I get these things posted up in. But the Ranger is what I would consider your jack of all trades. It's got the ability to have all types of damage. It's got shock or electricity. It's got venom, so acid. It's got fire, and it's got ice. But it is going to do a lot of impact damage. It's going to have a couple primers, a decent amount of detonators. It's going to be able to do large amount of damage, use most weapons, and have a decent survivability. So this just sits in the middle. I mean, the Colossus is your big tank. It's just going to take tons of damage, be the one that taunts all the enemies. Your Storm, very far away, outside of battle, just elemental damage from far away. Interceptor, down in the mix. Just kind of doing everything. Your Ranger is kind of your middle of the road. So most weapons are going to be viable. If you want to stay farther away, throw some grenades, something like that. You might be able to do that with Spark Beam, a sniper rifle, things like that. If you guys like the color scheme or don't, just having fun with some green and purple just to see how it would look. It can use all the weapons except the Colossus ones. Colossus basically can use heavy, but it cannot use the short range. So it can't use like the machine pistol and the heavy pistol. So it can't use those two. Colossus can use the big heavy ones like the autocannon, the minigun and stuff. All the others can use basically all of the normal stuff except the heavies. So the Ranger, same similarities in that department. It's going to feel similar to the Interceptor in the way the shield works, but it's just not going to be quite as nimble. It's going to be a little bigger, but still able to get around pretty quickly. It's going to be able to put out a decent amount of damage. It's going to be more about precision because you've got the ultimate, which is going to be multi-target blast detonators. Apparently I've got a buddy in this video, so that's how that goes sometimes. You're going to be able to lock onto a lot of enemies and clear them out. Now, is that going to do a lot of damage to one enemy? A little less so, but if you got like 20 ads to clear out, it's going to be putting down quite a bit of damage. That was a cool look. The combo effect for this one is kind of the key. So what it's going to do is critical target damage. Large damage to detonated enemy. So if you do critical target damage, it's going to hit it with a extra high damage shot. So it's definitely going to be about the precision. Cool Interceptor standing there next to me. So you guys can even see the difference. The Storm is going to be floaty. And then the Colossus is going to be the big boy. But that Interceptor is definitely going to be a little more nimble, a little smaller. Definitely one of those to kind of compare in sizes. So leaner, sleeker, faster. But this one still can kind of handle its own. So yeah, its melee is going to be, it's actually electricity. So that's where it's going to get a decent amount of its priming. Is if you smash it with electricity, that can actually prime something decently, and then you can actually maybe detonate with a sticky grenade, a seeking missile, a pulse blast if you're up close, or somebody else from farther away. If they're detonating, dropping lightning strikes and things like that, your electricity up close can do some priming. So you've got the variety of options, but basically, as I say, jack of all trades, master of none. So, I mean, Storm, just going to be putting out a crazy amount of damage from far away. Glass Cannon, Interceptor, Rogue, up close, getting that melee damage in the mix pretty much the whole time. Colossus, the giant tank, doing what it's going to be doing. And you are kind of a mix between all of those. So, the Ranger is cool, but kind of in its own little world of, you know, kind of being the middle of the road. Now, it has some cool support abilities. It's got a muster point, which is going to basically help everybody's damage for a little while. So if you got some people doing a boost of damage, you can actually help out, and it's got this bubble. So if you're standing in it, you're going to do a lot more damage. I think it's like 20%. The other side is the bulwark point. That's actually going to stop projectiles. It's a small dome, and that's actually going to keep you safe when you're standing inside of it. So if you have a point where you say you need to defend something for a little while, this is a good person to bring along. I mean, the shield pulse is nice because it's going to have you take less damage, but this actually stops projectiles. So melees you'll have to take care of, but projectiles from farther away going to keep you safe for a little while. So that's actually pretty cool. So I'm going to go through all the abilities. I can't pair everything up as equally with, you know, detonators and primers and stuff like that. Not all classes are quite as even as I was hoping they would be. But that being said, let's get into our first set of abilities. I'll show you guys the ultimate a couple times, see about the combo effect if I can get that thing going, and then I'll probably wrap up in the end with just, you know, a recap back in the Forge. So, wonderful screensaver getting started. Let's get going. So flight with this thing is pretty quick. You know, you're fairly nimble. You still have your hover. You have your dash. Now in this one, the first abilities that I've got is the Venom darts first. So those are actually going to tag one. And then I've got a detonator, which can actually combo. Now, this is a machine pistol, just a smaller weapon. This is something that Colossus couldn't use, per se. Now, this is something potentially the Interceptor could use, because you're going to be up close and in the mix. And you do have a melee, but you're going to want... That's a pretty big slam. You got to be a little deliberate about it. Got a little bit of that lightning effect. So again, main abilities here, I've got my little Venom darts. It's 3 that shoot out. Get that acid primer on there. It gets that acid effect going. And then on the other side, right now, I'm basically just running a big old frag grenade to get some damage. So it's a big chunk. Aim it out. Throw it. Let that impact go. And just as you imagine a frag grenade in any game would be, that's how that one would go. So let's see if we can go up here and look at the same thing. Now I'll show you guys. This is going to be the bulwark point. This is going to be your defense. So if I pop it up, and these people start firing at me, the projectiles just bounce off. Now, it's only going to last so long. It's not going to take an infinite amount of damage, but anything that flies at me isn't going to do anything. So it's a nice way survivability to do what you need to do sometimes. Now, that Interceptor is going to be doing a lot of work out there, which is cool. So that one's definitely beneficial. We'll get a second set of ads over here. This is where I can kind of throw these Venom darts on this guy. And then if I can get my grenade up, I can get a nice combo. And then that's a primer that I can even use and finish him up. So again, you got a decent amount of ability. You still got a little dodge if you need it. You can hover. Your flight time is somewhere in the middle, pretty reasonable. You can use most of these weapons, and this is just your kind of middle-of-the-road class. Not too high of a skill level. You have the options of all the enemies. Or of all the weapons and things like that. But again, prime him up. And then detonate him down. That's going to get that nice combo effect. And again, to get some extra precision damage on there. Again, I got a couple shots of primer. Give it a sec. See if I can get a nice melee slam on him. I'm going to die. So again, you can get out of there fairly quick. Watch the evasion if you need it. And again, that bulwark point would help me survive this pretty easily. So that's going to keep the projectiles from me. Go with something a little better. So here I can do a couple shots, and then a quick grenade, get a little combo, and then peek out if I need to. Big sniper. Of course, let me get back to my machine pistol. Have a little more reasonable damage use here. And again, not the most accurate in the world, but a couple quick shots of those Venom darts. Little combo action, and I can take both of those guys out. Get a little health back. Try and get back in the mix when my shield comes back. That guy's not so bad. Now this guy is definitely going to be an issue. He's the one who's going to kill me, probably. It's that one elite guy over there, and he's definitely tough. So if there's some low-level ads, maybe some scorpions I can kill, get some health back. But the nice thing is, if I know he's going to be there... Oh, man, does he hurt. Alright, so I can double poison him, and then I can throw a grenade for a little bit of combo. And then get a nice slam. There we go. His shield is off. Now we can start working his health down. Interceptor's definitely helping. And we'll finish him up. So nice combo action there. Got an item or two. Well, that's the general idea. Bulwark point, pretty helpful. You got your Venom darts, so you guys can see 2 shots out of those. And they will cover pretty good range, it looks like. And then, of course, your grenade, if you can launch it and lob it out there, get a pretty good chunk of damage. Hover up, throw a grenade, get a nice little combo effect. That guy has the acid effect. Pretty obvious when it's on there. I've got acid on me as well. No real way to get rid of it, but, you know, trying to fly around, dodge and be nimble. So I can get this going again. So I want double acid on him, and then I want a detonator on him. Nice combo effect. There we go. Bonus damage on him. So it's not going to spread as much to others like some of the other classes. It's mostly going to... And here, I can even use that thing while floating. So I know I'm overheated right now, but at least if I'm actually in that little bubble, projectiles are not going to get me. I'm going to make sure I get unoverheated. And that melee isn't bad, actually. So that bulwark point will actually sit there and take some damage. Even if I'm behind it, I can shoot through it, but he can't. So I can do double Venom shot, maybe a grenade, and then finish him up. So that bulwark point is actually really helpful as a solo player just to try and stay alive. So that is your bulwark point, your frag grenade, and your double venom darts that you can throw. Let me go grab a couple abilities and we'll do this again. Alright, so the next abilities we're going to be covering are the Inferno grenade and the Pulse Blast. Now the Inferno grenade is going to set some enemies up on fire. It's going to be a primer, so if I can fire it on this guy, that's going to put him on fire and prime him up. And then if I can do a Pulse Blast, should get a nice little combo. So again, same thing here. Inferno grenade should be up soon. Prime him up, he's on fire. Get a Pulse Blast. Ow. I'd love to fire this one time. Really? Alright, let's do this one more time. Fire grenade on you. See if I can not get tagged by these brutes. And then Pulse Blast on him. And a nice combo extra bonus damage effect. So those two actually pair pretty well together. Light them on fire and then blast them. So we got a few more adds over here to work on. Got some scorpions that we can get. Again, being tagged with stuff definitely has some interesting status effects. So now we can burn a few. And then if we can blast a couple, we'll get that nice combo damage. Now again, that combo doesn't spread, but you are able to put some nice damage on a single target. I will say the melees do actually track fairly well, which is nice. So here's another thing. Let's get a nice little melee on these guys. That's a prime. And then that combo damage is going to give you even more, which is kind of cool. So the melee itself being a primer is kind of cool. If you jump in, drop a melee on something, and then you're able to blast it with something else, that's actually kind of nice. So there's a primer, there's a combo, extra damage going down. And then if there's projectiles, they can't get me because I'm in my bulwark point. Another one out there, blast him away. Oh, didn't even need to. Well, combo still counted, even though I'm pretty sure he was already dead. And a nice little melee run. Alright, so that is a pretty general idea. Inferno grenade, pretty simple. Throw it out, light some stuff on fire, lets it burn for a minute. And then the Pulse Blast is going to be exactly what you think. A blast of energy, doing exactly what you'd expect. Now that guy is electrified, which is cool. And I can actually get that extra combo damage so he's easier to kill. Same thing here, that guy is down. So that's those two abilities. Let me go get a couple more. Alright, so the next couple abilities we're going to be looking at are going to be the Frost Grenade, which is a primer, and the Seeking Missile, which is a detonator. So, see if I can get a little height. Frost Grenade comes first. Go ahead and track it down. And then Seeking Missile will combo, get me some extra bonus damage, and he's pretty much toast. Now I gotta dodge these guys for a little bit. I am overheated because I floated up there too long, so now is where it gets to be a bit tough. Now if I can get a Frost Grenade on him and then prime him with that Seeking Missile, that's going to get a nice combo. He's going to be dead pretty quick as well. Now you guys will see I'm doing anywhere from 9 to 15 damage with that little thing. I've also got the Muster Point on. This is going to be your bonus damage time. So, I'm going to try and use it in the air. And what it's going to let me do is do extra damage, but sadly he teleported away. Just one of those things with the servers. But anyway, we'll go over here, see which set of ads is going to be up, whether it's the Scorpions or both. It's like if I lead over here, sometimes the Scorpions, over here, looks like we've got the Outlaws. So, same thing again. You're going to have your ability to throw your grenade. Now that's going to get a couple of them. Then Seeking Missile should combo, kill a couple of them pretty quickly. Now again, this is still a primer, so if that guy is electrocuted, I can actually hit him with the Seeking Missile, and that should combo as well. Now it's not showing it because I don't know if it actually gave him the primer amount with the melee. Now this will be really nice. A little Frost Grenade on him, except I literally tossed it over his head. So this seems like a pretty good time. Now you guys haven't seen the ultimate ability yet, so got a lot of ads up here. Gonna hit X. Cannot be used on cooldown. Oh, it's messing with me, so the cooldown is not actually ready. Seeking Missile, pretty powerful even on its own. See if I can go tag some of those guys out there. This thing is always just too much fun to use. Goes down pretty quick. Let's see if I can get a group of those ads down. Alright, super is not up yet, but if I do want my extra damage, I've got my muster point here, so I get bonus to basically everything I'm doing. Like 20 to 33% more for all of us. And this is why you've kind of got the mix of all classes here. Not going to say it's the best, but again, you have some mobility. You've got some survivability if you want that other point, or some bonus damage for some support. You can do some freezing if you get them right. Get that combo damage going, get a little melee action here. Just a little bit of everything. You aren't completely squishy. I've taken a decent amount of damage. This is on hard. But then when finally the time comes for you to actually put it all together, it's actually doable, and you can kind of get it going. So overall, it's, as I said, the middle of the road. Probably the easiest to always have some fun with, always have something to do, feel like you can always contribute. Because like the interceptor on a boss, sometimes I feel like I can't do anything. Because it is definitely going to be one of those harder things to hit. And that's that prime combo. That worked really well. Now, this last set of ads is probably where I'm going to put my super, if I can put it together. Super, ultimate ability, whatever you want to call it. But all of this group over here, if I can get it all nice and primed, hit X. And you can see it just locks on. And I'm able to kill basically nearly all the ads quickly. Because it's auto lock on, tracking rockets, and then I'm pretty much down to the final boss. So I know it was quick. I'll definitely show you guys that one more time. I'm going to use my muster point here, so the damage I do is actually going to be amplified quickly on this guy. Unfortunately, that also means I'm still not getting any extra defense, so that hurts a little bit. He's hurting down here. See if I can get that combo. This Outlaw Lancer is the hardest thing every time I'm in here. Now I can just sit here and melt the shield down. That's nice. Now that primer is actually a decent chunk of damage. That'd be a good thing to pair with that one if I could actually prime him up. Woo! So almost there on that one. See if I can prime him, frost him up, get a nice little bit. Finally got a shield down. And again, I'm still fairly mobile, still getting a decent amount of damage. This machine pistol is not the strongest, to be totally honest with that one. But that thing is actually going to hurt, but so is he. Still have a little shield. Get a grenade on him. Unfortunately, I missed. Where's he at? Got to keep that shield off, and it got back in there. Try and dodge the missiles. I keep missing my frost damage there. Ah. And when they stagger you, they definitely do. Stagger you hard. Gotta stay mobile, gotta stay agile. Now again, if I really want to mess this guy up, that's gonna be a pretty big shot. Frost grenade, that combo, switch back over. Just be careful. And then this fight with one dude, this is what soloing's like. Like, you have just the focus on you. And that's why clearing the ads out is good. He can basically fire back though, which is tough. Get in there. Come on. Gotta be in and out pretty quick. Keeping the damage on that shield. Still getting some damage. There we go. Come on. Almost done. Ah, he hurts so bad. I finally got him electrocuted, actually, if I can hit him with that combo. And he's finally down. So again, meleeing somebody with a Ranger, it's doable. You're not quite as quick squishy, but it's definitely not like walking around with a Colossus. So that, once again, is the Seeking Missile and the Frost Grenade. Let me go find a couple more abilities, and we'll get back to it. Alright, so the next abilities I have are not primers or detonators, but they are going to be... first, we've got the Seeker Grenades, and then we've also got the Spark Beam. So the Seeker Grenade's pretty straightforward. Fire them out. They will seek, and then they will split and go attack a target. So pretty straightforward. Now I've got to fall down, make sure I get my energy back, jump back in the air, and I'll show you guys again. Seeker grenades, throw them down, they will break, they will go after one target, and if they hit it right, then you're good to go. Now the Spark Beam is pretty much just a laser that does a lot of damage, and it lasts for a long time too. Sounds pretty cool. So again, Seekers, they break into 4. We'll track after potentially 1 target. I don't know if they will split. We'll see if we can find some extra targets up here. Got a group over here. Let's see how the tracker goes. So that looks like it went to 1. Now that Seeker is going to melt some shields. And again, I can use as much as I've got the energy for it. So it's only going to last so long. Now if I've got the muster point, give me a little bonus damage here on these guys. Just burn him down quickly. I can still take damage on the muster point, but it just gives bonus damage. So if you got some shield, some help, something like that, that dude is toast. Direct hit with those Seeker grenades definitely are powerful. And again, if it goes down quick, it may only use 7. So I can recharge fairly quickly. Now here I've got more. So I've got my Seeker grenade, which looks like it's just going to be 1 guy. But again, this laser beam, really powerful at quite a few things. Seeker grenades here behind me. That actually got 2 of them for a change just because they were close enough. Looks like this guy. Now, that's the thing about the laser beam, is it just burns through those shields, which is important when you have some of these more powerful enemies. Apparently that one didn't actually track. That's the nice thing about the Seeker, though, is the fact that it will recharge quick. And if you don't use it all, you don't have to just wait for a full recharge. You're trying to just get the most out of each shot you can. Alright, down here we're going to have more. Now I do have the big guy left over. So I showed you guys once before what it looks like. See if I can dodge some of his shots there. So this is the ultimate, but just on him, it's going to pump a lot of damage into 1 target. Now we'll basically drop him. Now he's a mid-level ad, but you saw me on a previous run just take a while to kill him. So it's definitely a thing. But yeah, that is a quick run through of both the Seeker Mine, which will split or search if it doesn't have a target, and then the little laser beam, which is going to be your spark beam that does a nice chunk of damage when you need it. Burns through armor pretty well, which is a nice bonus. Alright, let's go get our last couple, and let's get those going. Alright, so the last abilities we have are going to be the Sticky Grenade, and then we've got the Blast Missile. Blast Missile is going to be pretty much a standard blast damage shot, and the Sticky Grenade is actually going to be a detonator. So, Sticky Grenade first, that'll actually tag to him, and then explode, and then if I'm able to put that on him, it's not going to do a combo, but that's a pretty good combo chunk. And then I can get a nice melee. So this is where if you have the melee on him, and that Sticky Grenade goes off, he's actually primed now. So if actually I had that Sticky Grenade on him, I can actually get him primed up. So there's a nice bonus in damage, and that's that nice little combo. So Sticky Grenade, throw it, attaches, couple seconds later explodes. And then the Blast Missile is just pretty much a direct shot missile. So you guys can see what this will do. Fire it at this guy here. Pretty much just a straight shot, big chunk of damage, and just put some work in. Now we can throw a grenade. It does track. It will explode. And you can honestly get some nice work going here. So turn around, get a quick blast missile damage. You know, get your missile going. Hover in the air, turn, find your enemy. They did teleport away, so that's just the joys of the demo on the servers. Might have some more ads up here, though. So again, throw a Sticky Grenade, tag it on him. And that melee damage is always going to be great. But yeah, that Sticky Grenade, you can tag it and run, don't even worry about it. That's going to be your detonator. And if you've tagged him before, you're still going to be able to get a good chunk of damage in. Now this is where if you can prime something with your melee, then maybe double grenade it. There's your combo effect. Yep, so that melee prime is still going to be nice. And that grenade is still looking like it's putting some work in on some of these guys. So that tag is going to be there. And again, you can put a nice little grouping of damage out. These recharge fairly quickly. Got that on him. He is pretty much toast. That was a bit too much for him. Next set of ads up here. Seeker Grenade, you don't have to worry about it quite as much. We'll get a nice little damage boost. And then you're able to be fairly mobile and get multiple things going at once. A quick tracking missile, fairly forgiving on the tracking, I gotta be honest. That thing's not exactly tracking, but definitely putting in plenty of work. Nice little group smash damage there. And again, crazy screen shake effect, but still, overall this game is just a lot of fun. Alright, that's phase 2. Last one will be the big phase. Gonna have these guys down here, the Outlaws. And really it's just trying to put all these combos together when you can. So on this one it's going to be all about trying to stick this guy. Try not to get hit. And it's just that way to get a lot of damage. So I can melee... Oh, that's just cheap. So I can melee him there, get him primed. Hopefully get him stuck with this for a nice combo. Get that one still going on him. Get the grenade still going. Nice combo effect there, and he is down. So again, you guys see how the Ranger definitely can put in quite a bit of work on its own. Still fairly mobile. It's that nice middle ground. So if you're looking to figure out which one to start with, I might honestly start here because you're going to have a lot of options, not feel like you're too much stuck in one role. You can pretty much do them all. So let's head back to the Forge and wrap this thing up. Alright, freelancers, so that pretty much wraps up the Ranger, the jack of all trades, master of none, but definitely a fun javelin. Don't let me like talk it down. It's still fun to use. It was the first one I jumped into. Definitely kind of cool. You got different types. You got a little bit of venom, ice, fire. It's all in there. The melee's powerful. You're not quite as squishy. Your multi-target battery, like if you have one of each of javelin in a party, that's probably the prime setup because you all can pair off each other really, really well. So don't think the Ranger is invaluable. It's definitely going to just not be like, you know, if you had a DPS chart or something, it's probably not going to be at the top. But also, you know, the Interceptor or the Storm may die more and you may be the one rezzing them. So it's a toss-up between all those. It's still able to put out some work. So for your supports, you do again have the muster point, which is going to give you that 20% increased gun damage, not abilities, but gun damage. So that's the key there in that statement. And again, if you're farther away, you're doing some sniping, you got a muster point, well, that thing's definitely going to put in some work. Bulwark point deploys a spherical shield that blocks projectiles over the Ranger's position. So if you're in the dome, you're safe. You can even pop that thing in the air while you're hovering. Maybe you pop it up in the air and your, you know, storm buddy floats in it for a little while. You've got some options, but again, it is that way to survive, mostly like defending a point, which is probably going to be pretty valuable. So for the assault launcher, we are still going to have our 5 pieces. We've got the Seeking Missile. Remember, that's the one that will track towards a target. It's going to impact combo because it is going to be a detonator. Then we have the Pulse Blast, also a detonator, pretty much just a kinetic blast, no damage type to it. After a charge-up period, blast the pulse of raw energy, impact combo as well. Then you have your Spark Beam. That is just fires a sustained beam of energy. Just burns down, kind of sets them on fire. It is fire damage, but it doesn't actually prime anything. But it definitely burns through those shields and stuff really, really quickly. So it's definitely a nice one against some of those heavy shielded enemies. It's pretty beneficial. And then, of course, we've got the Venom Darts. So you can throw 3 of those out. You can do it twice. And then it's going to basically track to a single target. You can prime that target with Venom. And then finally, we've got the Blast Missile. Launches a missile that explodes on impact. Pretty straightforward. Just a big, impactful missile and just useful for taking out a chunk of damage or just killing one enemy real fast. Then down here we've got your grenades, all different types of grenades. So we covered the Frag grenade first, your standard explosive grenade. It is a detonator, so we'll have that impact combo. You've got your Inferno grenade, that's going to be setting enemies on fire, priming them for whatever your detonator is going to be. Then you get your Frost grenade as well, again freezing a target in place. That's going to get some nice bonus priming as well. Then you've got the other 2. You've got your Seeker grenades, splits into 4 and will track to a specific target. I've seen it track to multiple, not very often, does seem to focus on just one most of the time. And then finally your Sticky grenade. Throw a grenade that attaches to targets and detonates shortly after. This will also be a, quote, detonator. So that pretty much wraps up the Ranger for you guys. Again, that multi-target missile battery is the giant ultimate, which is a whole lot of fun to use. And if you need to clear out like 20 ads real quick in a room, I mean, you're going to be able, you might not clear 20, but you definitely will clear quite a few of them. And then the combo effect, as you guys know, it is that large damage to a detonated enemy. It gets that critical target damage, that bonus damage. So you're all kind of about that precision effect. So melee being a shock primer as well has its benefits. If you get a couple melee shots on something fairly quick and you can kind of dodge and get in there, get a couple shots, that'll prime it. And then you've got something like a pulse blast or a seeking missile or anything like that that's going to work. Even just like melee it twice, throw a sticky grenade, get out of there, let it explode in combo, and it's going to get you that nice bonus shot. So Ranger is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to work on all of them once the game comes out. I don't know where I'm going to go first. The Interceptor may call to me, but the Storm also has some benefits. So really just kind of depends on what your team is, but I'm going to play them all. Nice thing is, as you play through, you eventually do get some things dropping for other Javelins, so you're not just only getting Colossus things if you're playing the Colossus. So even if you put a whole bunch of time to Colossus, you might have some few things for your Ranger, Storm, and Interceptor, so you're not just totally useless. But that pretty much wraps it up for the Ranger. You guys know where to find me on social. It's Ebontis on Twitch and Twitter. If you haven't followed me on YouTube yet, hit that subscribe button. Got a lot of content coming. Still doing Destiny. Anthem's going to be another one. Division, we'll see how much time I have, but this one definitely has my interest peaked. I'll be curious to see. The leveling looks like it's going to be fun. It'll be kind of where the end game stands. But all in all, a lot of fun. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like below. Leave a comment if you got questions, thoughts on builds, anything about the demo if you got to play it, and of course hit that subscribe button. You guys were almost to 32,000 and climbing to more. So thank you guys for all the support lately. Catch me on Twitch sometime, say hello, and I will see you in whatever video comes next. Got a lot of them to do, so I will see you guys in the future. Have a good one.